Do you remember the horrendous fraud and corruption that was rampant in Sri Lanka in the recent past, which brought our country to its knees? Instead of taking action against the perpetrators of these corrupt activities, they were always swept under the carpet. Do you remember the central bank bond scam? Do you remember the sugar scam that caused the people of Sri Lanka a loss of 16 billion rupees? The country also lost billions of rupees in the coconut oil scam and the garlic scam. Do you remember when the entire database of the National Medicines Regulatory Authority disappeared without a trace? And what about the scams that took place after the government banned chemical fertilizer and haphazardly attempted to import organic fertilizer to the country? Over $6 million was paid for a Chinese ship carrying contaminated material that the government claimed was organic fertilizer. It was like flushing the people's money down a toilet. But the people stood strong against all of these corrupt deals and raised their voices in protest. Many of these scams were revealed by the media, along with evidence that pointed directly at the perpetrators of the scams. The media stood with the people and continued to reveal the latest hidden developments. And the people continued to agitate against these corrupt deals on social media. When these scams were revealed, every government swept them under the carpet and protected the perpetrators, instead of standing with the people and enforcing the law against them. History has shown us that Sri Lanka will only be rid of large-scale fraud and corruption if the general public and the media continue their agitation against the outright robbery of public funds. But can this be done if the newly proposed Anti-Terrorism Act is passed by Parliament and becomes the law of the land? How will this law affect the people? The provisions of this act could make anyone a criminal in the eyes of the government if they share, like, or comment on posts revealing any acts of fraud and corruption perpetrated by government-appointed officials and government lackeys. This may be your child, your brother, your mother, your father, or your friend. This may be you. Even the United Nations has declared that the crisis in Sri Lanka was caused due to economic crimes committed by those in power. If new laws like this are passed, the people will lose their power and the right to stand up against these acts of corruption and prevent them from taking place again. If those responsible continue to turn a blind eye when such damning reports of large-scale fraud and corruption continue to come out, what will be the plight of the people if they lose their right to speak, report, and stand up against them? This country belongs to the people of Sri Lanka. Should the people just stand by while laws that push Sri Lanka further into the grasp of a corrupt few are passed in Parliament? The people of Sri Lanka have never agreed to hand over their country or the strategic assets of Sri Lanka to foreign nations. Politicians who rose to power as a result of the struggle or the aragale of the people of Sri Lanka would do well to remember the saying, "The power of the people is greater than the people in power." This is a message to all Sri Lankans who love their motherland.